Hello. Good Saturday evening. How is everybody doing tonight? I did not get to stream yesterday. Had kind of a bad night. But my spirits have been boosted a lot today. Just thanks to the stream that Tara did for me and being able to hang out with my friends, and I was a bit more productive today, so I felt a lot better about things. So I decided that if I got everything done today that I needed to get done, then I would do a stream, and here I am, my to-do list complete for the day. It's great to see you, Christy. I hope you're having a good Saturday. Thank you for being here. No idea how much longer I have in this game. Galen told me that he thinks that I will have 2 more streams of this. Yeah, isn't this hoodie cool? Holland's brother Graham got this for me for Christmas. It's Dodo Airlines. It says Dodo Airlines on this arm in English and in this arm in Japanese. And the back. Gotta get the shoulders. Hello, Riddy. Hello, Storm. Thank you for shouting out Storm. Thank you for shouting out Christy. Thank you for shouting out Britt. Hello, Britt. Hello, Ula. Yeah, you gotta go in when you hear the eclipse. And then it has the hood. If I'm feeling shy. Hello, Kelly. How are you? Good to see everybody. I hope you are doing well. I finally got the objection ready that Britt bought like 3 weeks ago and I forgot to make until last stream. So that's ready to go for our Phoenix Wright stream. So anytime you guys object, and I mean you can use it outside of Phoenix Wright as well, but it's ready to go. Oh, I'm glad she said it in all caps too. Hola, amigos and amigas. Oh wait, it didn't work? The hex? Whoops, I can spell. Objection! Did I do it wrong? Hang on. I need to check it. Whoa, 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 I'm scrolling too fast. It says it'll do it. Try again. Hello, Coco Kringle Cat. What the heck? It says permission everyone. Thank you. I appreciate you liking my hoodie. Objection! There we go. It was just being silly. Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, and we know things work. I hope you guys can hear it okay. I assume you can. I am not in everyone, apparently. But it worked that last time. Alright, so I saved right when Damon Gant found us. Because I got sweaty hands. Not objection. Okay, I'm glad you are in agreement then. Uh-oh. I haven't dropped any frames, so I hope that Twitch is not being a butt today. Because if Twitch is being a butt, there's not much I can do about it. If my stuff is being a butt, then I can fix a little bit more of that, but... Oh, thank you for the happy almost birthday. I appreciate that. My birthday's tomorrow. I was just playing Ace Attorney when I saw the notification you were live. That's awesome! My birthday is tomorrow. I will be old. But it's fine. From save point. Okay, be safe. Chief Gant. We didn't think you'd be back so soon. Unfortunately, I am a man who believes in signs. As I was walking to my meeting, I happened to look out a window and saw a stray dog run right into a bowl. Just then I thought of a certain detective. Happy 22 birthday. It's totally your 22 birthday. Totally. 22. Thank you. Do you mean me, sir? Now then, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you all to leave. Yes, sir. Sorry. We're all 22 on the inside. Yeah, that's cool. Thank you, Moocher. You had to unlock the emote. Oh, you in the coat? Me, sir? Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore. But, sir... I'm so like that, the hoodie. 4 on the inside. I sometimes also feel like a 4-year-old, so that would make sense. Now get out. Yes, sir. Dang it, he fired Gumshoe. We'll be on our way to then. Wait, you, the one without the spiky hair. Don't go yet. Me, sir? Ah, Galen! Gant did the murder. Oh, I hope that's not a spoiler. Hi, Raz. How are you? It's okay. We just gotta arrest him for murders. No spoilers! I'd like a word with you. Although I'm pretty sure he's the murderer. I'm pretty sure. Oh, okay. You don't know if he... Okay, that's cool. Because I'm pretty sure he did it, but I just don't want anybody to, like, tell me. You're free to go. Mr. Wright... What is he gonna do to Emma? I'm afraid. I don't want to leave her with the creepy man. Look, pal, if I told you once, I told you 1,000 times. The chief's office is off limits. But no, you just had to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you? I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired. Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this, I never would have said it. Now that I've seen the evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. It's hard to believe anyone could keep quiet about it all this time. He would have to get through me to get to her, and I bite. I'm gonna try to smooth things over again with the chief. Later, pal. After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police want to ask her some questions, so she'll be busy for the rest of the day. February 24th, Detention Center, Visitors Room. I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning? It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. But I've already told you all I can. What you've told me over these past couple of days is absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing. Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. You know, I think I finally figured it out. Who is it you're hiding behind those words? Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. It seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth? No, I stabbed Detective Goodman. This is some pretty good music. And now I'm gonna stab Chief Gant. Britt over here with the stabby emote. Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term he used, I believe. Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. You want to see my badge? I have to admit I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual. Badge, exactly. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say? So you think I'm protecting this person? I do. I think Lana has the hots for Chief Gant. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think that that's the case. I think that he is threatening her with perhaps harm to Emma? I don't know. When I went like this, I got fat chin. I found this channel recently that has giant piano medleys for the first 5 Ace Attorney games, and I love them. Link me some of that in the Discord, okay? Please, pretty please. I do love video game music. You don't need no badge. Next emote is a badge. Wanna see my badge? Okay. Moving on. Protecting? No, I think afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, whom, may I ask, is this person you're speaking of? The one I'm supposedly so frightened of. What is this person's name? Well, Miss Sky? She just spun around in her chair and now she's straddling it like just casual like. Chief Nat. I was kidding, Christy. That would be gross. I'm sorry, I keep clearing my throat. I have a little bit of a scratchy in it. I think Lana should call me. Mr. Wright, you are addressing the chief prosecutor. Do not forget your place. After I'm done murdering Chief Gant, of course. There is actually an FFZ emote of Phoenix's badge. That's awesome. What is this link? What you linking? You got the platinum trophy in Need for Speed tonight. Congrats! I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans. But if I show her my badge... Excuse me. Ooh, that was a good burp, but a little gross. My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about the circumstances? But Lana, my badge! I've got one! We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he's respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes? They show me their badge when I get the badge is all powerful. Look at the badge! His crimes. Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. LOL, it would be gross. Yeah, I know. That's because everything about Gant is gross. Let's just be reals. But not quite as gross as Von Karma. Oh! The idea of Von Karma just makes me angry. Of course, these are serious offenses. Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned? Chief Gant? Edgeworth didn't know about the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly investigated that evidence was... me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation. Yes, you, but also one other, Damon Gant. If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in that case. Okay, I got this. You want proof of the Chief's wrongdoings? Here it is. That evidence proves someone is doing something wrong, all right, but it's not the Chief. Look at this attorney's badge. Every time you do it makes me get information. Oh, I don't know if that was a good cover. Who would that be? Why, you, of course. Me? Yes. You seriously believe what you're saying, don't you? Now that's scary. You seem to have the makings of a criminal in you, what with all your fallacious accusations. Care to spend tonight in the next cell? If you ask me, you're the scary one. What? Did I show her the wrong thing? I already told you I stabbed that one guy and I'll do it again. Maybe I should have showed her the evidence list. the best I got. I just found this in a safe in the chief's office. If you didn't show her the badge, then yes, you showed her the wrong thing. Pixels! The way it's meant to be played.
Definitely. You're amazing. You've got a mysterious quality I find very intriguing.
Thank you so much for the follow, Fox McCloud. How are you doing tonight? This jar piece and this strip of cloth. Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him? Touché, Mr. Wright. It's as you surmised. I cannot disobey the Chief's orders. Even if it means being found guilty for murder. Why not? Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate. In the murder of Detective Goodman. Or perhaps I should say follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. This is the Nuremberg trials all over again. Wait, what? Am I supposed to know what that means? Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. Just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Correct. One day we'll get a case that isn't crazy. Hi, Susie. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. I'm sure she'll understand. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. Basically, the Nazis were tried for the bad things they did, and then they were just like, oh, we were just following order. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. I did the wrong voice. The trunk was broken. I discovered that murder weapon while inspecting the body. The murder weapon. You mean Edgeworth's knife. Now I can say proper hi. I was doing late night laundry. No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it. The SL9 knife. The knife from the SL9 incident, serial killer Joe Dark's knife. I couldn't just leave that knife in him, so I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. That would be Edgeworth's knife. That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. And that's the reason for the bandage on your right hand. Yes, it seems I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then... Susie says, meow. She saw me, just as I plunged the knife in. Miss Starr. So Miss Starr did testify accurately. She just didn't know that he was already dead. Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly? It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that, by whatever means possible. So you hid Dark's knife. The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that. So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it, in Edgeworth's exhaust pipe. Right. Then I called my sister to tell her what happened and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You asked Emma? I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this. Joe Dark, Joe Dirt. Yeah, we talked about that at last stream. Laundry at 1:30 a.m. is best laundry. Well, it's laundry you forgot during the day. I feel that. That would explain why Emma is so confident about Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. A bad feeling? The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him? The lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. Takes laundry out of the dryer, puts them on still hot. Ooh, that is a nice feeling. That is a 10 out of 10 feeling. One of my favorite things is like washing my sheets and comforter like in the evening and pulling those out of the dryer and making my bed right before I get into it, and it's like clean and it smells good and it's warm. I go to sleep so nice. That's one of the best things. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean, not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as Officer Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. I hate a warm t-shirt. I dislike putting on hot clothes. I can be kind of cold-natured, so when it's cold, when I'm chilly, I do like the warmth. Why do you always do your sheets just before bed? No more questions. Exactly. I am warm 100% of the time. Even in like the winter? When it's cold outside? How? Yeah? Okay. I'm wearing this and I'm still kind of chilly. He'd already stolen the ID card. Don't you dare drag Jake Marshall into this. But it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared. So your phone call... Oh, thank you, Galen. I just saw your ping. I have fur-lined men cargo khakis. My legs... Fur-lined cargo khakis? That exists? IDK. I just only get cold sometimes. That's fine. My sister is like that. She's definitely more hot-natured. And I'm more cold-natured. I like to take a still half-wet t-shirt from the washing machine and put it on during the summer to cool down. Now, I don't know about that, Chief, but check the men's section of clothes. You'll find some amazing stuff. I'm a small person, so I don't know how many of those things would fit me, but I suppose there are still small boys. I'm like in the children's section. I can fit my Nintendo Switch in my one cargo. That's awesome. Last few days here were below 10 Celsius and will be next week too. Whew! I get hot so easily. My friend Kelsey's cold all the time, but puts off a lot of body heat, so I can't share a bed because I'll start sweating. Sometimes I'm like that, like when I've traveled, like with Holland, and we have to share a bed or whatever. She is very hot-natured, and I am not. And I have a tendency to pull covers, I guess. And so she'll be like, the next morning she'll be like, you kept pulling covers off of me. I'm sorry. What are in your pockets? Everything. Okay, back to the game. So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room? I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. But Lana, you've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator. Now please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. I married my wife with the one rule: every night it's my responsibility to heat her up, but she has to go out in exchange. I used to wear cargo shorts to marching band practice because I could fit 2 volumes of Naruto and I got in them shorts. I like winter better than summer. What am I supposed to do during the summer? Tear my skin off? Me and Britt live in the southern United States, so it does get pretty toasty here in the summer. Tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago? To be continue. To be continue. I think I would even though I'm more cold-natured, I think I would still rather be cold than hot, because if I get too hot, I actually get nauseous and I lose my appetite. You can put on as many layers as you want, but at some point you're gonna... Wait, things are flying now. You're gonna run out of layers or you'll be naked. You've never time I go in your car goes, believe it. I feel ya. I hate it when I sit in shorts and a t-shirt. Someone says, let's crank up the heat. Like, what should I do? Oh no, is Twitch still being a butt to you? Objection. Hi, Puffy. I say this even though it's freakishly cold here. I understand as someone who also lives in a warm state. Yeah. Like, I don't mind the heat. Don't get me wrong. Like, I can tolerate it well. But if I'm hot, I can't eat. I just, for some reason, I just can't. Unless I'm, like, eating something cold. Like a popsicle. Okay. February 25th, 9:47 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. This is the defendant lobby, all right, but there's no defendant. It's so inconsistent here. Like, the other day it was 40 all day, and then the next day it was 70. It's been sleeting here all day, which has been a little weird. When I get hot, my brain just shuts down. My work is 99% brain. Being too hot makes me uncomfortable. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Christy. That's a pain. It's been raining here, but it's been warmish. Yeah, it's been cold and rainy here. And when I went out today, the rain was falling, and I was going to go check the mail, and the rain hurt, so I looked up, and it hit me right in the eyeball, a piece of sleet. It was uncomfortable. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where's Emma, for that matter? I have a bad feeling about this. Did Mr. Murder Man murder my friends? Something's been happening behind the scenes. Hey, Miles. Edgeworth. Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 777-7777 ID number is? Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. I stepped in a puddle in my sandals. No! Those are the worst. I have Corbin's Holland's Brothers Minions onesie still sitting right there in my closet. But I'm not gonna go put it on. So don't ask. Miles! Here, there was a thunderstorm and I was worried about the lightning interfering with attorney gameplay. I feel you. Looks like I'm not the only one who figured it out. Edgeworth's cravat gives him the power to phase into existence. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because I don't know why I'm laughing at that cravat statement. He's just like, he just goes like this to the cravat and he just like poofs back to his office or wherever. And then he goes like this and he just poofs back to the court. The general rule is either my legs or my arms have to wear something short. That's fair. It's because there was still room for doubt on this ID record. I wonder if he could keep snacks in there. In the cravat? Probably. Probably. It's got lots of folds. Saving every 5 seconds in case my electronic... Yeah. First it was question mark talking, and he just pops in. He was in the process of activating the cravat. That's what it was. Okay, this is why this game takes me so long. Because I stop all the time. Okay. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True, not yet. What is happening right now? Hey Jeremy, how are you? We're talking about Miles Edgeworth and how his cravat is magical and allows him teleportation powers. We just made that up, but it makes sense. How are you? How's you? Hi Rachel, how are you doing? It's good to see you both. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling on the defendant. 5 minutes after the trial starts, Lana will be found guilty. It took him a second. Edgy Boy 188, loading 56%. I'm in the UK with my fiance! That's amazing! Are you having a great time? Staying safe, I assume. I'm wonderful. Life is wonderful. Last semester of school started and I'm already ready for it to be over. Oh, well, I wish you the best of luck in your last semester. Graduation will be here before you know it. How's Summer doing? But she didn't do it. I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say. This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. The truth? Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. All very appropriate and safe. My fiancé have been isolating, so we haven't seen much of London or anything, really. But that's still fun to be there with each other, you know? In, like, a new place. It's alright by me. I can see London anytime, once this plague just goes away. She's great. We both just woke up from a nap and feel all funky. Oh no! Like, sick funky or just, like, off because you napped? I haven't seen my fiancé for a year. Oh, does he live in the UK? Is that why you're there? I'm glad you get to spend some time with him. Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. Like when you wake up and it's dark outside and you weren't ready for— oh, I feel that. You guys are gonna be up late tonight. That's great. How much time do you get to spend there? Do you still have some more, like, a good chunk of time to go? See you in court, Wright. Gray court, Wright? Is this a Nancy Drew reference? I'm doing pretty good with Phoenix. I'm loving it. However, this last case is a beast and is taking me forever. So maybe one day I'll finish this game in 2021. Who knows? But I am really, really enjoying it. I have officially become a Phoenix Wright fan and will be playing the rest of the series on stream. Unfortunately, I have to go home tomorrow. See you in court phases out. He rubbed the cravat. I went to bed when I got home yesterday at around 7 p.m. and woke up at 4 a.m. this morning and did not know what day it was. Did you see my message, Britt, about the dream I had 2 nights ago? Gray was there. This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now. I must return to my home planet. I went back to sleep and woke up at 7:30 this morning. I could not fall asleep last night. I was having trouble. And then when I finally fell asleep, it was good. But then I woke up at like 6 a.m. and couldn't go back to sleep. Yes, I did. And I laughed. Okay, good. February 25th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. All right, here we go, boys and goyles. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Edgeworth starts T-posing. I think you should do what you dreamed. Follow your dream, so to speak. I don't know. I'll tell everybody. So I had a dream 2 nights ago that I started a new series of streams. And the series of streams was just called I Try to Dance to K-pop. And it was just, most of my stream screen was like the cam, like the camera of me. And then like in the corner was like a K-pop video, which I was watching like on a monitor. And I would just play K-pop videos and try to dance with them, like mirror the movements, like it was the game Just Dance. And it was just like a train wreck. But in my dream, I got to 200 viewers in a stream doing that. So I woke up and I like sent Britt a message and I was like, I just dreamed about this. Kelly says you should do it. Are you ever not the defense lawyer? I don't know, actually. In this game, I've only been the defense lawyer because Phoenix is a defense lawyer. But that's a good question. I don't know about the rest of the series. Just Dance 21 Dream Stream. I know. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll do it just for, like, giggles because it would be a train wreck, but it would also be hilarious. Okay. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. I could answer that, but remaining quiet until you see it. That sounds good, Puffy. Do it at 1,000 followers. I mean, we're only like 30 followers away from 1,000. I have no idea what my sub count currently is, so I don't know. I don't think so, at least from how far I've played, but it's possible you play the roles. Okay, cool.
But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make.
Chief Gant. Only 30 fake accounts to go. Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, Edgy, been back to the pool yet?
No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work.
But that's a good one. Don't think I can top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours? Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. I only came here hoping it was a K-pop dance stream. I'm out. Sorry to disappoint you, Summer. That would be really fun being the prosecutor or the detective on a case. I mean, you're basically the defense and the prosecution because just proving your client innocent is never enough. You have to be... You also have to prove who did it. Yeah. Lana, no. The more I look at his tie, the more I want to purge this heretic. Let's go! You made me feel special. I don't know the dance words. Okay, what's this all about, defendant?
I'd just like to make one simple request and I'll be finished.
Well then, what's your request? That was certainly not the dance. I'm sorry. But good try. Thank you. That's the best you're gonna get. I just want to make sure that everybody's expectations are reasonable and the bar is appropriately low. Is this not K-pop?
Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial.
Huh? There are K-pop songs on Just Dance. There are? I know that there's a Hatsune Miku song on one of the Just Dance games. Interesting. I also haven't played a Just Dance game in a hot minute.
I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office.
No, Lana. Which song? Which K-pop songs are on Just Dance? Blackpink, Twice, BTS. Really? Interesting. I didn't know that. If the bar was the limbo bar, you would win. You can't. Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea. Speaking of songs, anyone ever see 24 Hour Cinderella by Majima? No, I have not. I don't know what that is.
In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services.
What is she doing? But Lana.
Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please. Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. Her request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation.
That's so interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. But I'm also, like, not super up on the Just Dance scene, so that might be why. Kick It by NCT 127. That might be a fun one.
Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial.
Let me introduce you to some new things. I mean, I have played Just Dance. We did a Just Dance stream, me and Holland, and it was hilarious and ridiculous. However, I don't, like, keep up, you know, with the Just Dance series. Oh, those are the lyrics to Kick It. Let me introduce you. Oh, yeah, okay, I got it.
Even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise.
This can't be happening.
It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant...
Objection! Thank you. One moment, Your Honor.
Mr. Edgeworth?
The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut, I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant. What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes? Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy that you would have me be. With this sudden confession from the defendant... Holy crap, I've been live 45 minutes already? Holy moly's. It's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal, Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness. Oh, to whom? As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye. I request the court hears her testimony.
Mr. Edgeworth, I am exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to contend.
I don't care what you think, Miss Skye. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. I've been online 45 minutes. Those numbers are embarrassingly low. It just feels like I've been live 5 minutes. That's why. Very well, the court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gant? Worthy, you'll live to regret this. Mark my words. Are you allowed to threaten people in court? Because this guy is threatening in court. Pretty sure it's made me gasp out loud at least a dozen times. Yeah. Yeah, that. Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand. That is what being a lawyer is all about. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation.
My name is Emma Skye. My occupation? I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator.
2 years ago. Oh, I'm giving him a wrong voice. You encountered the serial killer of Joe Dark, of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct?
Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant? Yes, it most certainly is. Well, okay then. He sure gave in fast. Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. Let's go! Let's go!
I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
It's a good thing you weren't harmed.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder? That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. Okay. Two years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct?
Yes, she was second in command under Chief Detective Gant. My sister, she was the best detective ever.
Yes, I remember. Chief Detective Gant and Miss Skye used to be quite the pair. I believe they shared the same office.
That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk and dream about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day, too.
The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day.
Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work.
A man?
Yes, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer.
Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on the day of that ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest.
When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right?
Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then he ran into Sky and Gant's office. I would learn to play the organ just to play the Mario Bros. Theme. Okay, welcome back. I hope things work better for you now.
There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him.
What was the prosecutor doing there? That day there were two people present during That day there were two people present during Dark's questioning. Detective Damon Gant and Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Gant was there too. Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony.
I assume that would also be why he was the first to run after Dark.
When Dark grabbed me, I thought I was as good as dead.
And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in?
I don't clearly remember what happened then, but...
Can you tell us about that?
Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. Just then, the lights went out.
The lights?
Oh yeah, sorry, PG channel. It'll just delete your message, but...
It was just about this time of the year. There was a terrible storm going on.
Oh, it's fine. Like, don't worry about it. I just like to keep the chat clean, if I can.
And lightning struck nearby.
So the electricity went out?
Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right?
Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind.
I see.
I told the detective about what I saw then.
The detective?
Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case.
Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago?
Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial.
And you told Detective Goodman what you saw?
Yes, but at the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture.
A picture. Yes, I think she mentioned that before.
Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough?
No. This picture the witness... I'm giving him the judge's voice. The picture the witness drew, I believe it has a very important meaning. But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture.
Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor.
I drew a picture of that scene, but it seems to be lost. You drew a picture of the scene you witnessed, right?
Yes, I wanted to do everything I could to help the investigation. I can still see it now, whenever I close my eyes.
That's strange. I took over the case after Prosecutor Marshall died, yet I never received any picture. Perhaps the witness is mistaken?
But I did draw it, I swear. I'm not just imagining it.
This picture that Emma drew, that reminds me. I guess I should check the evidence again. Well, anyway, let's continue. This scene that imprinted an image in your mind, can you please describe it to us? I think I need to somehow show Miles that there was another list of evidence that Gant had kept hidden. I think that's the thing I need to present.
The man.
That must have been a real shock.
Even now when I close my eyes, I can still see it just as clearly.
Tell us, what were you doing at that moment? I believe you testified that Joe Dark was holding you hostage.
When lightning struck and the lights went out, Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. I was thrown aside and the two began wrestling each other. I'm pretty sure I was watching them.
Emma doesn't have any reason to lie, but Lana sure does. I need to get Emma to tell me as much about this as she can. Okay, so... Can I check this? I can't read this? Up! Pull up! Here we goes. A picture's drawn on the back of the evidence list in magic marker. I've got a very bad feeling about this. Okay, this is what we gotta do. Mr. Edgeworth, this little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet you still insist on denying its existence? Wisp? Hold it! Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold.
This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident.
Please turn it over, Your Honor.
Turn it over to it. Ah! What's this?
Yes, what is that?
Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew.
Indeed. Two men appear to be wrestling here.
What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list? Me? Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list.
Huh? These lists, they're different from each other.
What?
It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You could see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other.
So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you. What? What?
Order, order! Who'd have thought the picture would have been drawn on the back of the list?
That was handed to Detective Goodman in the questioning room.
Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor?
Are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head.
If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list.
Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth.
It's possible. Let's see. He never flipped this thing over? He's had this piece of paper for literally days and never thought to just go... What? Why? Not days. True. 2 years. 2 years. He's had that piece of paper for 2 years and never flipped it over. Miles, you are not the most detail-oriented man, are you? Bet you feel really silly right now, Miles. I bet you feel real silly. He is not a Virgo.
Is something wrong?
Do you even have to ask? Yikes! I do. Yikes! Sorry, Your Honor. There is something drawn on the back of my list. This is that thing. The Capri Sun block!
That's that thing.
Are we being haunted? Yes.
That thing that was dancing in the evidence room.
Apparently the head of criminal affairs used this for his blueprint. I guess he was out of scrap paper.
Very well, witness. Will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago?
Huh? Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor.
What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she saw that picture.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw that instant.
To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind.
Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw.
Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Exactly what I saw, except all the details. Hi, CJ.
The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Did you draw this picture right after the incident?
I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first, I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything.
During that time, the detective team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Damon Gant and Lana Skye. 2 or 3 days later, the memory should still have been fresh in her mind.
Excuse me, witness. But can you please tell us why this picture is painted all black?
The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows.
So at the time you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue?
No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor.
You were knocked to the floor?
Dark had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed.
Poor Emma, I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed?
After that, I must have fainted.
Whoops, 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 back. I want to press her about everything. You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place?
No, I'm sorry.
The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. But she said earlier that she saw Joe Dark stab him in the chest. That would be witnessing the moment of the murder, right? So which was it? Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further? What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. I think the painting did it. Me too.
Anyway, this picture...
Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw?
Of course, this is the exact scene.
It wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives? Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright? No, of course not. I'd better watch out or he might find some way to cut my salary.
I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives, so I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me.
The blob clearly killed the man.
Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture?
Huh? Oh, well. That's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. And yet, there's clearly a contradiction here. There is? I gasped and I choked. Saliva. Wait. I'm okay. She said that Neil was stabbed in the chest, but this says he was stabbed in the back. Do not die on stream. Okay, I'll wait until I get off camera. I did have a revelation. There can't. Something's either the autopsy's wrong or her picture's wrong. So hold up. Just like Harlan Bishop. Stabbed in the back like Harlan Bishop. You cannot die, I'm coming to see you. Beep beep. On me way. Oh, what are you talking about? What are you making a Stay Tuned for Danger reference? Yes. Okay, alright. Woo! Let's go! Let's go! I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction.
What? But I still remember it just like it was yesterday.
Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report?
Him being stabbed in the chest. This part here? Wait, what? A lot of this would be faster if we had different court procedures in general, but like here we are 3 weeks into this case and we still have no idea what's going on. Did I do it wrong? The act of making an innocent girl cry should warrant the death penalty? Miles, yikes! I guess that means I shouldn't shift the blame to others. Okay, but hang on a sec. Stabbed in the back. Okay, hang on. So, I thought it was the chest. Is it the knife? I'm confused. I thought I found the contradiction, but I don't know how to make the game recognize it. But I selected his chest. I love watching being actively question for herself in a run. The man was stabbed with a glow stick. Yeah. Like a glow stick. Okay, those of you who know this game, am I wrong in my assumption? Like, is it not the chest that needs to be used as the contradiction? Stabbed with a rectangle, what a way to go. Looks like a ruler, which would be awful. Did I just get, like, the wrong hitbox? You are wrong. Have my walk through it because I am helpful. The man was ruled out. Yeah! Okay. I guess we'll try the knife. I don't know how that would work, but... Nope, the music didn't stop. Oh, just kidding, the music did stop. The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken.
In fact, you don't even have to look closely to see that.
But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too.
If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body.
It was a conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer. Okay, be safe with the pups on your walk. See you soon. I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma.
Huh? Where could you possibly see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. Yeah, I guess so, CJ. Yeah, broken off in the victim's body. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken.
Ah, what is the meaning of this?
Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand. Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there.
That's right, but what does this mean?
The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence. You're treading on thin ice, Wright. All I'm saying is that this broken knife might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility. No. Ugh!
Order, order, order. Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted?
Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story there is a lie.
I'm not lying. That man really was holding up a broken knife.
If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife. I want to know who that golden knight on the right was. Yeah, I asked about that last stream too.
What are the chances of there being two broken knives?
Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's. Could there have been one? Sure. If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by a simple observational error.
Mr. Wright?
In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife.
I assume, then, that you have some information about this other broken knife. If so, please feel free to enlighten us.
The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. Oh. Screwdriver? I don't know. The other thing I'm thinking is that the halberd was removed from the prosecutor trophy. Could the halberd have killed somebody? Oh, you know? I'm thinking it's either screwdriver or the halberd missing from that. Let's go screwdriver first. Actually, I don't want to blast through my chances, so yes, a hint. Just tell me if I'm on the right track. Coco Kringle says she believes that I'm onto something. Screwdriver's my go-to drink. It's delicious. My go-to drink is Polar Seltzerade. Or Polar in general. Is that, were you gonna give me a hint as well, Britt? Haven't had the tart cherry here. Aww. Trying to think how I word this. Is it about the Chinese word for contradiction? Because if that's your hint, then I know I'm on to the right thing. Let me double check before I say something, okay? I don't think this could have stabbed nothing. I believe the Chinese word for contradiction is the same as the word for both hawk and hand. Okay, who else do we know that has a knife? Edgeworth. We have Edgeworth's knife. Besides him? I can't tell if Lana's holding this or if that silver thing is holding this. But there's a knife. Yeah, that's what I was saying, that the trophy had the halberd that was removed. So but I don't know if that means I need to present the picture or if I need to present the trophy. So we'll go with the picture. The answer lies in the past, 2 years in the past, right here inside this picture. This is a picture of the awards. Oh, this is a picture of the awards ceremony.
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's the broken murder weapon. Notice the award prosecutor marshal is holding. That's what I thought it was going to be about the removed halberd. That's a broken knife. As we earlier concluded, the knife in the picture was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was all in likelihood this award.
Order, order, order.
Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and a broken knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation. The man was awarded death. You're such a good prosecutor.
But that can't be.
Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth? Why did I give him the judge's voice? Because if the King of Prosecutors award knife... If the King of Prosecutors award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed. What do you mean? I mean, this man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Oh. Oh. Why do they have to complicate things? What? This is the case that never ends. Just goes on and on, my friend. Some people started solving and not knowing what it was, and we'll continue solving it forever just because this is a case that never ends. They didn't give him the finger. But the prosecutor was the one who actually died. That's true. What's going on here? It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump on to conclusions. Who holded it?
Wait! I remember now. I remember everything.
Witness?
Mr. Edgeworth.
What is it?
Could you show me your evidence list again, please?
His list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back?
I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it.
What? You drew that?
That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me.
It's raining really hard outside right now.
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony. Would you please tell us what you've recalled, Miss Skye?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have great news. What's your great news?
Hello, Spartan.
First the knife mix-up and now the blue badger. This should be interesting. The blue badger was the killer. Y'all gotta watch out for them blue badges.
When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
What? You saw what now?
This is certainly most unusual.
Yeah, no joke. Uncle Spartan coming September 2021. My baby sister and her husband are having their first child. Oh, congrats. You're gonna be an uncle. That's so exciting. The killer was possessed by the blue badger to kill the man. Grab a seat, everyone. We ain't done yet. I want to sit with my legs crossed, but I have to sit farther away from my desk because then my legs are too tall. So I'm gonna sit back here for a sec.
This is certainly most unusual.
Hang on, I need to stand up for a minute. And stretch. Oh, my back. Oh, my little lady back. No, this is my bedroom. I just don't have... This is where I normally stream from. I just normally have my green screen up behind me, between me and my bed, and I just felt lazy and didn't do that today. I have Nancy art over there. I don't know if you can see it. Over there by my door. Oh, my back really hurts. I'm sorry, I'm being weird. Okay. Whew. Alright. Ah. Everything's breaking. Okay. Alright. Legs crossed. Let's go. We getting comfy. Try impossible. It's snowing up there? It's snowing in South Carolina? It's been sleeting here all day. But I didn't know you were getting snow up there. What's a snow? That's awesome! Yay, snows! I'll consider it birthday snow. Try impossible. The head detective of criminal affairs didn't even design him until this year. You don't want to know. That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago. I think it's coming your way. Holy momoly. If I get snow tomorrow, I'm gonna be so hype. Yay, snow! Hey, Timo, how are you?
Stop! Please don't pursue this any further.
Lana?
What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair.
But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that?
Chief Prosecutor Sky? We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back.
Silence.
My birthday is tomorrow, Spartan. If you get snow tomorrow, then you're also getting a surprise visit from me tomorrow, because I gotta know what the snow business is. I will let you know. That would be fun. But also, driving in the snow is scary as heck, and I don't know if I would feel nervous if I knew you were doing that.
The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant.
It seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter. We're finally getting to the core of the matter. Not the end of the matter, the core of the matter. I'm just in your front yard looking real confused. Oh, thank you. I will be kind of old tomorrow. It feels weird. I don't know. This year feels weird to me. Like, usually I'm just like, oh, yeah, it's whatever. I'm this, you know, however many years old. But, like, it feels weird to me. Tomorrow's gonna feel weird. I don't know. I'm, like, starting to, like, come into, like, a panicky kind of situation. Of, like, I feel like there's so much I should have done at this point in my life that I have not yet done. But then I also have to remind myself that everybody works on their own schedules and that I should not compare myself to other people. And not to, like, get too deep in the middle of this trial that's taking months for me to get through. But, yeah. I'm way older than you. Way? I don't know if you're way older than you. Than me. Are you way older than yourself? I don't know if you're way older than me. I think you're just slightly older than me. Yes, that's true as well, Spartan. Okay. Emma's recollection. Let's go. Yeah, see, you're only slightly older than me. You're not much older than me. When you say that man, I assume you refer to Joe Dark?
Yes, at least I think it was him.
You think?
All I could really see were shadows.
The power outage that immediately preceded the incident is also documented in the prosecutor office's reports.
So then you...
Listen here, lady. Your resume is full of amazing stuff. Detective, defense attorney, ghost detective, which is different than a normal detective, bird defense attorney, which is different from a normal defense attorney. Okay, you right. I've been doing a lot. Gotta get back to mod duty. See you later. I'm probably gonna throw everybody over at Stormstream when I'm done here anyway, in about half hour or so. So I'll see you over there in a bit, but thank you. Why would you do something so dangerous?
What else could I have done? He was about to stab Mr. Marshall.
She seems convinced that Dark was the one holding the knife. But as we've just theorized, Mr. Marshall was the one holding the knife.
Well, I didn't know that at the time. When that Dark guy knocked me down, all I could think was, I've got to help Mr. Marshall.
What do you mean you think?
It all happened so fast, and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What I did, it's all kind of a blur.
In a matter of just a few seconds, this guy was almost killed. Then she witnessed a murder about to take place. A little disorientation is only natural.
I saw the man about to stab the other person who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife.
What you did was very brave, young girl. So then what happened next?
I still don't understand how the Blue Badger came into all this. Are you sure about this? I even drew a picture of him here. but the head detective of criminal affairs thought up this hideous beast, and that was just this year. The blue badger didn't exist 2 years ago. That's all quite verifiable.
I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling that I'd seen him before somewhere. Now I finally remember.
Oh, brother. Just when you thought that this thing had caused enough commotion.
Tell us, where in the room did you see him dancing?
He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. Was there something in that office that would have had the same shape? His shadow? So you mean you didn't actually see his face with its winning smile and all? I had to help Mr. Marshall, gets pushed to the side, drops flashbang. Yeah, it's all kind of sketchy. The blue badger's always there.
That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns.
This is pointless. What does Chief Gant look like again? He does have that stupid hair and those ugly glasses. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken. That may well be. What's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did. Oh, and I suppose you have an explanation. If so, then by all means, please tell us what this shadow really was. What was it Emma saw when that lightning flashed? Who is this blue badger really? Alright, let's see. I think after I murder Chief Gant, we should promote the blue badger to chief. I'm for this. The blue badger hadn't even been dreamed up when Emma drew this picture. Yet, she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense's belief that on the fateful day 2 years ago, but the badger might have staged this whole thing. Probably also. There was indeed something that looked similar to the blue badger. Something that is now sitting in this very room.
Mr. Wright?
In this room? Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it that the witness saw in that instant? Please show this mysterious blue badger look-alike.
Alright. I don't know. The blue badger's evil brother, the red badger. It has a similar shape. You think you saw it? Okay. I'm thinking it has to be... Attorney's badge! The mysterious blue badger was in fact this.
But that's... what exactly is that?
I believe it's some sort of jar.
But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger.
Indeed it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint?
Our viewpoint?
I've got to show them the correct angle to look at this from. Oh. That looks pretty close, right? I love it when you big brain. Thank you.
I'm thinking.
Okay. Well, is this a miracle or what? No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the blue badger. No, it can't be. That's a strange coinky dink, ain't it?
Order, order. The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious blue badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this.
Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point? What do you mean? So that badger thing was actually just a jar? That doesn't change anything. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, actually, this changes everything. Indeed. Very well then. Please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw this jar? My point is only a murderer would choose this interior design style, meaning that Lana's in fact a murderer. Wait, no. The sluggish movements of the badger make me think its soul is taped in a low-budget cardboard cutout, forced to smell in public, never ending it. I guess the switch one's much more touchy. Oh. Okay. What's different now that we know the witness saw this jar? I'm gonna say the murderer. I'm gonna try without hints and see what happens. Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. Not only that, but she saw it at a very specific angle. Knowing this, where could she have seen this jar? Where? The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant. But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself. Yes, and it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room in Chief Gant's office. Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body? From Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office? Yes. That's okay, Christy, no worries. Why would he do that? There's no reason. Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason.
Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright?
I finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying? Welcome back, Riddy.
That would have had to been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit?
The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous-looking sword.
Yes. Did Emma actually kill Neil Marshall because she pushed him away thinking he was Joe Dark and his back went into that sword and he busted the jar? Oh my gosh, is she a murderer? And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall wielding the prosecutor's award. Oh my goodness. No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking. Yeah, it'd be involuntary manslaughter, but... Oh, yes, there is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room.
Another possibility?
Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless... I don't know if I can go through with this.
Mr. Wright, what's the matter?
If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Skye knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Whoa! You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? My stomach just growled. I don't know if you heard it. No! Pass out. I never imagined her testimony would lead to this.
So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented.
Oh, snap.
What are you saying?
I'm sorry, Miss Skye, but given the circumstances...
Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her?
Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it?
I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall?
Evidence?
I'm willing to bet you don't.
Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence.
If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony.
I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead.
We certainly can't get dead people to testify. This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. Touche, Miss Skye. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility.
You mean there's still another possibility?
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. Somehow.
That's impossible.
I know what the evidence is. Emma's handprint is on the leather swatch of Neil Marshall's vest. Her handprint's all over it from when she pushed him.
Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist?
I've got to think back to the court record. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind is in the evidence. The message from the deceased is already in our possession.
Mr. Wright? Will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer?
Do not be mistaken, Miss Skye. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There's only one thing we seek, the truth. No matter how painful it may be.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased.
Okay. I think it has to be this. Not anymore. Let's go. This is the message from the deceased.
Right. Now then, this is the message.
What? How is that not? How is that not? Snap. Okay. I don't have anything that's written. Unless it's this. Take a good look at all the evidence you have. Good look. Okay. Why do we have this? I'm trying to big brain here and it's really hard. I bet it's the badge. Okay. You have passed what you needed. Like I looked at it. You glanced. See, this, I think it's got to be this, because that's a really weird shape to just splatter. So I'm going with the jar. This is the message left by the deceased. Please be right.
This is that blue badger from before, isn't it?
Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name?
If that thing could, I'm sure it would. Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar. A message was left here, on the surface of this jar. What do you mean? If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar. It looks like someone wiped the blood away. Yes, but notice, for some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away.
Yes, there's a line here drawn in blood.
So what you're saying is these dots were once lines. Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message. One that someone apparently wiped away, but blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions. Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points, and the victim's message will become apparent.
No.
Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us?
Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. I've got to connect these dots to make letters. There's only one thing the victim would have written given the circumstances, the murderer's name. I always leave secret messages when I die, too. Please don't die. Yay, kindergarten time! It's a defense attorney's duty to prove his client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma. So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. Snaps, though.
Of all people.
That message is too neatly written for someone who is dying. Impeccable handwriting is not something that you should ever shy away from. Ready, snap.
She may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life
was Emma Skye. I mean, not that I know what it feels like to die, but just a hunch. I'm glad that you do not know that, because I would not want that. I would be sad. See, Worthy, you can't say I didn't warn you. Chief Gant. Do you understand the implications of what you've done? What? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. Impeccable post-mortem penmanship. He wrote the killer's name in blood. If only he hadn't tried to write it in cursive. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case, were you not? Oh, yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction. But I mean, just because he didn't kill Officer Marshall doesn't mean he didn't kill everybody else. I mean, he was supposed to be a serial killer, right? Every time I hear the name Lana, it reminds me of an episode of The Twilight Zone where someone says it real weird. Which episode? I wonder if I remember it. Enunciate in your blood writing as you die, please. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction. He makes some weird noises, Miles does. But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable. Oh, well, thank you for having the same point as me. I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know? We aren't defenders of justice. What? We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery, ultimately the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Number 12 looks just like you. I quite like that episode. It's the one that starts Imagine with the... I remember that episode vaguely. It's been a long time. I don't remember them saying the name Lana weird, though. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied. I still don't like him. What's going on at the prosecutor's office? They might have sent an innocent man to his death? How can he just stand there like it wasn't his fault? Order, 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 order! Snap. The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows. This is the trial that never ends, but this is a good stopping point for today. I'm pretty sure this might take forever. I might actually finish this before the end of the year, maybe, hopefully. I feel like I've been doing this forever. It's fine, stop! It certainly does never end. There's no way of knowing which direction we are going. One of the characters is named Lana, and the housekeeper says Mrs. Lana, whatever her last name is. Lana says, please call me Lena. And the housekeeper goes, Lena, and the housekeeper goes, Lena, weirdly. I think you're close to the end. Well, it'll have to be next time, folks, because you know me, I only go like 2 hours at a time because I am a weenie, and I'm not good at staying awake, especially this late in the night. But what I want to do is set up a good old raid. I'd like to go over to our buddy Storm. Let me mute that real quick. Thank you guys for hanging out. You're welcome for the stream. Almost exact. I'm not good at staying awake ever lately. Thanks for streaming. You're welcome for streaming. Thank you guys for hanging out with me so much. I really do appreciate it. Thank you everybody who wished me happy birthday early. I really appreciate it. I have some family plans tomorrow. Just kind of gonna take it easy and eat some good food and just relax. And your sleep schedules become so normal. That's amazing. It's probably because you haven't been streaming late at night. Have a good night, everybody. Have a great rest of the weekend. I do plan to stream with Holland on either Thursday or Friday night. I can't remember which night. So we're going to stream the Pathway of Aviary Attorney that we did not get, because we did 2 of the ending pathways and not the 3rd one. So we're going to do that one, which is supposedly kind of a long one. So we'll probably be doing that. So catch you then. I might stream earlier than that. I know that me and Britt are streaming on Tuesday night over on her channel, so you can catch us there. But thank you again for the happy early birthday. I've just been sleeping 24 hours at a time, it feels like. Well, you guys have a good rest of the day. If you would like to raid with me, I have my cute little message. And I'm going to go ahead and do some of that. Take care of yourselves. Storm is great. Be nice to him in his chat when you go over there. But I know you guys will because you guys are all sweet and nice. Much love from me to you. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Bye.